Good morning. Happy Baby Friday. I apologize for being just a couple minutes late. Our passage this morning comes from the book of Psalms, Psalm 37, verse 4. I'm reading from the King James this morning. It's a very, very, very familiar passage. And it says, Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. I've heard this quoted I don't know how many times that and people tend to forget the first phrase and remember the second one, that the Lord will give you the desires of your heart. And it's true, but it's true in context, not true by itself. Because our desires on our own are selfish at best. They're selfish. They're self-gratifying. It's what we want. It's what we think. It's what, I gotta have. This is my desire. And unfortunately, that has been preached in Christian realms and it's not been preached correctly. It's not been taught correctly, or people have just gotten the wrong idea about it and have gone on. It is that first phrase that is the key to the second. Delight yourself in the Lord. First. The very first thing that we should do is to enjoy the presence of the Lord. Now, again, that sounds very self-gratifying, but that is not what the psalmist meant. It meant getting into prayer, getting into the presence of the Lord, and finding out how amazing that he really is. Hearing from him, from his spirit, hearing his heart, delighting in hearing from him. Have you ever stopped and got just amazed by the fact that God, King of the universe, I know I've said it before, I know, but hear me. The King of the universe wants, desires, longs for relationship with us. We're just nothing but glorified dirt, y'all. And he wants relationship with us. Let that sink in. All too often we get a little too, I deserve that kind of attitude. We get entitled. That's not ever supposed to be the stance of a Christian. Entitlement has invaded our culture, and it's ugly, it's sinful, and at some level, demonic. Because when we feel entitled, yeah, I know that's rough, but it becomes demonic. Because when we feel entitled, our will overrides God's will. And that's idolatry. And that's exactly what Satan did. His will was to override the will of God, and it got him kicked out. It's demonic. Be careful. But when we choose to delight in the presence of the Lord, his desires become our desires, becomes what we want, because we've spent time in his presence. Here's this morning's just a word from the word. You'll get the desires of your heart when your desires have been caught in the presence of the Lord. Make sure it's in the presence of the Lord. Don't be entitled. Don't declare it is my way and this is what's going to happen because I am, you get all up in yourself. Delight yourself in the Lord. Lose yourself in His presence where His desires can fill you. Then those desires will come to pass. It's a principle to live by. This has been just a word from the Word. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. And Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow morning.